Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm out in the car with my mum who's at the back. Say hi, mum.
Hi.
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 Hi viewers.
Hi viewers, you nice people.
Ah.
The sun is shining out here.
Nice sunny shiny day, isn't it, mum? Whoa.
It's cold, but
Let's get some of that sun, mum. Yeah, so we're out now, aren't we? Where are we going, mum? My mum's got early dementia. And even though that is the case, we still don't claim it, do we, Mum? We don't claim it as so. We've decided that you haven't got dementia and it's going to change day by day and improve, isn't it, Mum? What do you think?
yeah, I agree.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. It's going to change. So, yeah, it's a struggle, but we fight, day by day, you know? So, Mum, let's talk about something, yeah? Right? And share and let the viewers listen to us.
Yeah.
And please comment and share and subscribe and all that good stuff, please. Yeah, so where are we going, Mum? First of all, we're going to see my sister who's had a stroke. She had a stroke about 1.5 years ago. It's been 1.5 years, Mum.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she turned 60. And she's my older sister. She turned 60 and she was celebrating about that, and we were celebrating. She was happy about getting a freedom pass or whatever it is, that free travel thing. And a couple of weeks later, she wasn't able to use it anymore because she couldn't walk. And yeah, clot in the brain, really serious, very close. It was very close call. But thank God she's pulled through, but she's not mobile, not very good. She's now in sheltered accommodation where you have carers and so on. So God bless my sister, and enough respect to you, Maureen, for handling it the way you are.
Dignified.
Yeah, you're doing your best. You've done your best. You put down a good fight, and as far as I'm concerned, you're victorious. Said it, Mum?
Yep.
Yeah. So we love Maureen. This video is dedicated to Maureen. God bless you.
She had a complaint.
She doesn't complain, no. So yeah, so back on track. So yeah, we have a lot of challenges. My sister, my mum, but I'm still trying to keep smiling and so on. So that's life. We get on, right? So you know what I wanted to talk about, Mum? There's this issue I'm noticing on social media. A lot of conversations about, you've got. I don't like to use the word black, but just for so we all understand, because black is not a good word, but anyway, we are black people. Historically, we've been known as black people, so we're black people, and we are spread around the world, and most of that was what we're taught is that happened during slavery brought us to the four corners. Yeah, right, Mum, you hearing me? Yeah, right. So we're spread around the whole diaspora, but we originate from Africa, right? Okay. Now we know that, but because of the slave trade, we don't know what parts of Africa, but apparently you can take these DNA tests and it will tell you where in Africa. But anyway, I don't trust the DNA results anyway. They can manipulate that to tell you anything, But anyway, so that's been my kind of understanding or teaching, and just that's what I've come to know, right? We're Africans. Before we were Jamaicans or Caribbeans or Americans, but we were Africans first, yeah. But there's a big debate on so like TikTok and so on about this. African American people, our brothers and sisters, African American people are starting to. Some of them are starting to question that story, that narrative, and they believe, based upon things like their grandparents or great grandparents telling them about their family and their ancestors and their, you know, that they were Indians. They were Indians actually, and they never taught them anything about coming from Africa or basically this kind of understanding that they are original Americans actually, and not anything to do with Africa, right? Now, and I don't necessarily disbelieve that, Mum. I think that's possible. I think it's possible that there's some truth in this, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think it just relates to just African Americans that we know of as today, but I think it also includes Caribbean people who used to be called West Indians, if you remember, Mum. Didn't we used to be called West Indians? In Britain, they would call us West Indians.
Yeah.
If we come from the Caribbean islands. Yes, Mum, speak.
Yeah. Just wash away, actually.
Yeah, that name, West Indians, just disappeared.
It's
Yeah, we're not called that anymore, and I think it was interesting that we were ever called West Indians. So anyway, so this goes for the Caribbean people, the Caribbean people, and the African American people.
She knows to say the blue light.
1 minute, Mum, I'm videoing, right?
Yeah.
So, what I'm thinking, is that there's some truth in this argument. Now, the thing is, there's a lot of African people who are African and know that they're African. They've you know, all their family is African, and they've travelled from Africa, come to America to work, or Britain to work, or wherever, right?
Yeah.
And they don't have this question because their grandparents are in Africa, their parents are in Africa. Their whole story has been an African story.
Yeah.
Until they make that their own move, you know, to the. So it's different kind of perspectives, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's something about, like, when I'm sort of listening to these conversations, I realise that there's a diversion here, guys. Sorry, I think, can I go there? Access open, no camera enforcement. Okay, I can go here because there's a diversion. Just had to check that before I get ticketed. Yeah, so bear with me, guys, because I know what I want to say. Just be a bit patient with me, right? Because I'm driving with you as well. But I think that there's some truth in it. Now, I'll tell you why, right? Even though on these conversations you'll have African people challenging African Americans and appear to be, or seem to be, offended by African Americans saying, well, we're not African, right? We are original from this land and we are Indians. Africans are challenging them and saying that you have an identity crisis, you have a problem, and getting quite, in some cases, really angry with the African Americans for in their view disowning their African heritage. And I don't even think it's about that. I think it's about a nation of people who have been through so much, trying to find themselves and going through another journey, actually, in order to do that. And that may involve some kind of confusion in some ways. That may involve a lot of misinformation or not necessarily understanding the information correctly. But they may arrive at a place of actual truth. And I think a lot of what they're knowing and feeling is not real, and what they're feeling about being Indian, right? Is not necessarily written in any books, actually. Because if there is truth behind it, then there's a lot of hiding that truth to arrive at the understanding that we have today. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think it's more of a spiritual knowing than necessarily being able to find the actual evidence of what they're saying. Does that make sense? Sometimes I think we just know.
Yeah.
Especially in this time.
Yeah.
In this time, we are just knowing. And we know first, and then we look for evidence of what we already know, rather than the other way around. Am I making sense? Yes, we normally look for evidence and then we know, yes, but not in this time. In this time, we already know. And so we find ourselves looking for evidence of what we already know. And I can't explain it any more than that. I feel like many African Americans already know something about their journey, and they're looking for the evidence of that knowing, right? And that evidence is hard to find. Why would it be hard to find? Because I think it's a journey where, remember, they had no real control over necessarily recording any of it. You're relying on the people that oppressed you and stole you and kidnapped you and whatever to have written something down or recorded or registered something so that you have evidence. Well, that's interesting, isn't it, really?
The same. We are looking at the same people.
Yeah.
Capture.
Relying on the story. Yeah, their story.
Yeah.
Of your it's yeah, and I think that in this time, which is a very interesting time in many ways, I think that we now have the ability to surpass the knowledge given to you by you just know. So of course you're going to be challenged on that if you don't have the paper to say, look, here's it, you're going to be challenged on that, and that's fine, because at the end of the day, you know what you know, and that's all that matters, really. Indian, our understanding of an Indian, if we have a country called India, and these people, many of them are melanated people, they're dark-skinned people, straight hair. And we have this image of what an Indian is. Yeah. When we think of an Indian, or we say the word, we don't think of a person who is of black appearance or Negro appearance or melanated like me appearance. We don't think of that person being an Indian, right? Yeah. But I think that is a very recent understanding of what an Indian is. I don't think that that's what an Indian was 400 years ago plus. I think an Indian, and I think they knew this, that's why they called us West Indians, and now they're not, right? And I think,
well, then why you think they are not?
Because they don't want you to know that you're indigenous. Because what does that mean if you are? It means that you have some ownership over the lands that you currently are always under some kind of immigration control, but actually you are you shouldn't be, because the land belongs to you. So it's a big deal, really. That's what I think one of the main reasons is that, you know, it's about land. They don't want you to ever. You're just going around the world being an immigrant wherever you go. But actually, I think that melanated people are indigenous to many of these lands around the world. But anyway, you know, I need to do a lot of research, a lot more, and a lot. I'm just working off of what I'm starting to kind of know, and then I'm going to have to do the work to prove what I already know. And see if it's out there. But I just wanted to talk about that because it's a big deal on TikTok and social media, you know. It's a big debate. You know, there's some African Americans that totally disagree and say that no, we are Africans and we came from Africa during slavery to the Americas, and before that it was, yes, there's some saying that and some not, you know. So I just find it very interesting because I think that I do believe that we are Africans, right? Yeah. So let's backtrack a little bit, and I'm not contradicting myself, just bear with me. I do believe that we are Africans. They claim that the first man or woman was found in Africa, the first bones, the oldest bones are found in Africa. If I'm wrong, then please put in the comments and correct me, please. So the origin of man is Africa, apparently, right? Okay, so if that be the case, then we're all from Africa, yeah? So you cannot deny your connection with Africa if that be the case. I think the issue here is not understanding the difference between being an African from ancient descent, yes, but being an indigenous Indian, of the Americas, so one of the first people who arrived in the Americas before slavery. I don't think that melanated people were only able to get to the Americas by being brought there by white enslavers. I don't think that was as if I think we had the ability. I think the lands were closer together, that's another thing, and I think we were able to do that. If we were able to build pyramids and do great, we were able to do. Yeah, I mean, you know, if we were reading the stars, I think we could have got next to, you know, to other lands. We built ships. So, if that be the case, then right, exactly. So this idea that melanated people could only get to America through slavery, I don't think, via slavery, I don't think is true. Again, in the comments, people, correct me if I'm wrong, tell me I'm open to any views, because ultimately I just want to learn, you know, I just want to know. So that's my view anyway, right? I think it's a very interesting debate going on, and I love to hear different perspectives and so on, but I don't think that we should just discard or discount the views of those African Americans who are starting to feel something and know something within themselves. And I think that rather than argue and fight with them, I think we should be listening and trying to understand and learn from each other and find. Ultimately, that will lead us to the truth. Because we just want the truth. It's not about, you know, I just think people shouldn't be fighting about it.
So,
you know,
people disagree.
I mean, you get really heated conversations going on, which is really, you know.
Well, I think it's a natural thing.
Yeah, it's a natural thing.
I see my father. They were men.
Yeah.
You don't But my father and the neighborhood men. And they always talk about history. And stuff that I hear. They always talk about
so Granddad was interested in history.
Yes.
And debates and all that. Yeah.
Debate.
And it gets heated, very heated.
And it gets heated. I really am.
Yeah.
Do you know some steel at Brixton, for instance?
Yeah.
And the whole
You could hear. She could hear him.
You know.
Yeah.
You there Blackwood and me there Brixton.
Yeah.
And me hear you.
Yeah.
So they go to.
Yeah, they have their serious debates. Yeah, because it's important, Mom. It's well, they're even gonna throw a machete. Imagine.
Them white man and them now.
Yeah.
Me as a child.
Yeah.
Well, I look and I say them are gonna fight, but at this time, discussing the history.
Yes, and it is important.
Family.
Very important. Yeah. So was there any family? This is probably a question to ask, as a Jamaican, right, Mum? And you're as a child in Jamaica. Was there any connection with America?
Yeah.
Because as you know, Jamaica is, I think it's North America anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So it's part of the Americas anyway.
Yeah.
It's near Florida, Cuba, you know.
Because of that,
did you ever, as a child,
there?
You have lots of relatives in America?
In America.
And how did they get there? It was about work, I presume.
I presume.
In those times, not now.
Work. Yeah, I would say work.
Yeah.
Being, as they call us, slaves or whatever.
No, I'm not even talking about slavery. I'm talking about in your time.
Yeah, but
right?
there were a lot of our family still in America.
From slavery?
From slavery.
That's interesting.
And Kate and Aunt Esther would tell you.
Yeah.
Them passed already.
Yeah, sure.
Religiously about the slavery and thing, as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
Family ties. Very important to them.
So hold on, are you saying that Jamaicans were taken to America during slavery?
I don't know that.
Is that what we're saying? Or no?
I didn't know or taste about that.
Yeah.
They to me. Maybe they were when I look at them, and Kate, the burial side. It's like a lot of them were living in America.
Right.
They get there.
Right. Well, that's something to explore. You know, that's something to explore. You know. My father, mother was the burial family. And to me, seeing them as a child, as the eldest child from my parents, I was somebody that I would say, cherish. They want this Auntie Kate want me to come, and as a child, and Aunt Esther. Yeah.
Aunt Esther was a bit stuck.
So you were around them a lot, Mom?
Yeah, I was around.
Yeah.
Aunt Kate and Esther, Wilbur, Murdy. Remember them? It was just a baby too.
So in terms of the American thing, a lot of them travel to America? Right. And so these are like your aunts or grand aunts?
Yes, grand aunts.
These are grand...
Yes.
These are grand ancestors.
They would be my father.
Your father's auntie?
Yes.
Yeah. So your grand aunts?
Yes.
Interesting, you know.
And it was a sort of rarity because all of them used to want me to come by them.
Sure.
And, I was like the first child born in the grandchild or great grandchild. And so that's why.
Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks, Mummy, for joining me with this conversation and sharing it with my YouTube friends. But we'll definitely pick up on this. But I'd be really interested in your comments and your opinions on this thing, you know? It'd be really interesting to hear what people think about it. And you know, anything you can add to it would be great. All right, guys. So thanks again. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Please like the video. That would be I'd really appreciate that. And share the video. That'd be even better as well. And I'll speak to you guys soon. All right, take care. Bye.